house doing a search to avoid hitting walls and stuff, you're down here so you can get up and about. If you're outdoor ready, and it's the same thing, you're just keeping the blade between yourself and the, that makes sense? But your Joe strikes, you're striking, they all slide down and go right back to your head. I'm doing the same thing with this. Go ahead. I got my thumb, but that's okay. I can live without a thumb.
Just wondering how many, what other ways would you transfer that? I guess I'm just thinking.
Grab it. It's a release.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Or, well, let's wait till the class gets started. But that's an excellent question. But that's why I want to, there are some of us are much more apt to have a shotgun than we are a Joe. And there's nothing wrong. The Joe worked, but I don't have time to work on everything. Does that make sense? It's not that I don't think it's an extremely valuable tool. It's just I've only got X amount of time for training.
I guess my initial question was, you replaced the Joe with a shotgun. What did you replace the sword with in your training?
That's the shotgun. Or what do y'all, are you still with the M16s?
Yeah, we carry M4, so it's about the same size as your shotgun.
Okay, so, and it's the same thing. Your sword is an offensive weapon. M4 is an offensive weapon. A handgun is a defensive weapon. So what were the old M1 carbines were a defensive weapon back in World War II. They were designed for officers and troops' last ditch weapon, where your M1 Garands and stuff were offensive weapons. Am I correct in that, sir?
Pretty much. I mean, now we go with two weapons. So primary is your M4. Your secondary is going to be your sidearm, which that's the oh shit.
Yeah, that's the oh shit.
Now your counter is for defense.
Exactly.
To regain the offense.
Exactly. But then, once you got the offense regained, you get rid of this and get this back up. Does that make sense? Thank you, sir, for your input. I'll probably be relying on you a lot with some of the things I'm talking about. He asked a good question. Come here for a second. He's asking a good question. He said, how do you replace a Joe with a shotgun? And I was showing him. He's striking. You're outdoor ready or you're indoor ready. Either one, doesn't matter. He's striking. I'm doing the same thing. If he's grabbing, no matter which hand, you're just, if he happens, you've seen Shomanate, right? Just like you would a pistol. And the Shomanate is what I use for weapon retention. I don't wait for him to grab my weapon. I drive him off of it with my hand. First and foremost, I'm not going to let him get to that point.
Had a guy trying to get one. I was wrestling with him and ended up doing kind of a bulldog choke and something reached for my weapon. So I got a couple of retention seats, so I wasn't all that concerned with it. But I knew he was doing this kind of thing. And nowadays most everybody has the hard plastic holsters. So I just let off with him a little bit, gave him a little release there, and he felt like he was coming off. The other thing too, under his eye.
And he went, ow, that hurt. Oh my goodness.
I instantly teared up and he started bleeding.
Oh.
If it had been just a standard, thumb brake holster, he'd have had it.
Yeah.
So it's some of the things I tell you, just whatever works.
Whatever works. And that's basically what I talk about here, whatever works. Now, I found that Aikido works in right at every situation. I do firearms with Aikido. When I'm on the range, I'm teaching Aikido. When I'm on the mat, I'm teaching firearms. It's the same principles. Once I get into this and start talking about it, you'll know what I'm saying. It's what I talked about, I told Chris before. I give, an officer, let me back up. During Korea, you know the MASH units? A doctor in a MASH unit would get about 4 years of experience with 3 months on the front line because they'd see so much horrendous. Well, that's the way kind of officers are. In 3 months on the street, you're going to get more than the average martial artist is. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing because they just don't come in contact with the things that we come in contact with. Luckily, I don't teach Aikido from a traditional standpoint. Not that I don't think it's valid, but I don't have time to train theoretically and then train realistically. Okay, you're either training with a firearm for real or you're not. Whether it's inert or not, it's a firearm. It's a weapon.
Speaking of which, do you think you need that?
Sir?
Think you can use this one?
I got one in my bag. We're not going to use them yet. I'll probably change out before we get to the firearms portion of it.
We've told everybody 6, so we still got a few minutes.
Oh, I didn't. I'm sorry. Well, it's 3 or 4 officers with fully automatic weapons. We're going after this guy with the machete.
I know what you're talking about now, yeah.
I think he cut up about 3 of them. Now these guys are fully armed. They're from here to Eric, and this guy. Hey, how are you, sir?